What's up, everybody? Welcome to the GameOverGreggy show. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the producer, Nick Scarpino.
Oh, water's good.
I like that
water.
since the last show, somebody put out a photo of you on the Twitter, and it was what you do. Like they zoomed in on when you were being all sexy to the camera at some point, and they put producer/seducer.
Yeah,
like
it was very flattering actually.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, because of the way my face looked.
Yeah.
Because of the positioning of my jaw to the brow, it made me look a lot skinnier in the face than I think I am. And it was flattering. I appreciate that. Thanks, guys.
Why do you have such a complex?
So
I just
weird.
don't get it. You look good all the time. You look cool.
I know, but you know when like
you do.
They teach like professional models or professional actresses how to pose, right? Like you pose to a certain way so that you're only like cheating 3/4 of your body to
So
the
you can,
camera.
like, disappear.
Yeah, so you sort of disappear and things like that. I want to master the fine art of that ninjery. Is that a thing? Ninjery?
Sure. It's a thing now.
Ninjutsu?
Sure.
Ninjutsu is the actual.
That's an
thing
actual
ninjas
thing.
do.
But ninja is the model thing.
Whatever
And
that
this all
magic
stems
is, I
from
want to master
shadowboxing.
that.
Yes.
Well, shadowboxing is where you start, right? That's sort of the entry gateway drug to life.
Someone asked me to make sure this show I stayed away from any reference to shadowboxing, so I wanted to make sure I got
got
it
it right up
in the
front.
first 3 minutes. Next to me, the pride of Long Island, Colin Moriarty.
Darrell Revis, you are a traitor.
Oh yeah, here we go. Some sports talk. This just happened.
Does he watch our show?
Former New York Jet. One of the best cornerbacks of all time for you.
Yeah. Oh,
Revis.
one of the best cornerbacks of all time for anyone.
You guys broke up with him.
Yeah.
You let him go. And you said the census was there in New Jersey, New York. If you love something, let it go.
And it will come back to you
If it's meant to be. And it looked like it was about to come back.
Yep.
And there was you tweeted some stuff that he would love to come back and yada, yada, yada. And then he burned you, went to the Patriots.
Yeah, he went to the Patriots.
That's the worst.
The worst possible place you can possibly go.
Yeah.
Why would anyone want to play in that hellhole?
Championships?
Yeah, that's a good reason. That's
Money?
a good reason. Yeah.
Celebrity?
That's a good reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
And next to him, the pure one, Tim Gettys.
Let him host.
Let Tim host indeed.
Tim,
This is a lovely ensemble.
For everyone
It is.
that's actually listening to this podcast and not watching the video format, can you allow me to describe your shirt?
Go for it.
Can you get you gonna get the bottle open there, Kyle?
Sorry, go ahead.
Tim currently is wearing a seersucker striped shirt with randomly placed pigeons on it. I'm
That's
going to take
awesome.
a picture of this
Do it.
right now.
Then
So
are
that
you
people
going
can
to
see.
are you then gonna Google at Tim Gettys and ask him how to use Instagram?
No, I'm going to put this on a private server.
Okay.
And if you Google the words Tim Gettys seersucker,
You will not. Are you really
You're
gonna
gonna
do this?
find
This would be
this.
I
awesome.
don't even know what seersucker means.
it's a suit. It's a kind of a suit
Pretty
that you
one
wear. It's like a
trick
linen suit that you wear
Oh,
where it has those specific stripes. Generally, it's like you have a light blue stripe
it has
that you
nothing to do
have,
with
or a
pigeons.
light pink. If you can find with a light pink, buy it for me
believe
in
it.
large.
Okay.
'Kay.
With pigeons or like peacocks. You're more of a peacock.
I thought they were peacocks. I got super excited when I first saw you drive up because I thought you were wearing a shirt with peacocks on
No,
it.
no,
But
these
no,
are
you are
pigeons.
wearing, in fact,
That's weird. I didn't even think about
blue
that.
pigeons.
He drove up and you were on the sidewalk across a lane of traffic, and you still immediately picked out that shirt was cool.
I picked out that shirt was something.
Yeah.
It's cool. Everybody loves
It is
this shirt.
cool.
It's an
really
awesome
cool.
shirt.
It's cool. It's
I
just
wish I had
so
it.
out of character for you. Because
What?
normally
it's
you
not.
just wear like black V-necks or like a cardigan and a black
That's
V-neck.
true. I agree with
That's the video team's.
That's the uniform.
Yeah.
It's true. Literally the other day I was talking to Scott Lowe and Alex Solomita, and they were both wearing black V-necks.
So was Brian Malkowitz.
Yeah,
I
and I
gave
just
him
kind of
shit.
looked
They
at
were
all
Alfredo.
three of them. James wears them a lot too.
Yeah.
I stopped wearing them because of Alfredo.
I'll tell you what. Put a pin in this for 2 seconds, and I'll come back to it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Game Over Greggy show. Every week, 4 best friends gather around the table and each bring a random topic of discussion for your amusement. On Friday, we post the MP3. Then over the week, we break them out as videos on YouTube up till that next Friday, we post the whole video. So you get it both ways in little segments. As an MP3 you buy for $1 over on Bandcamp or GameOverGreggy.bandcamp.com. Then you go get it at GameOverGreggy.com as a video. Everybody has a ball. We love it when you tweet us. Make sure you tweet us. We put them up on the show all the time. I'll go first.
Go for it.
My topic is actually wrapped up in what you all are talking about.
Whoa.
Colin,
Yes.
Tim, Nicholas,
Yes.
I'd like to know, how are we currently carbon dating ourselves in terms of fashion? When you look at a photo from the 90s, bright fluorescent, 90s. You look at the 80s, right? These unflattering sweatshirts everybody's wearing for some reason, right? Even you want to go back to like the 20s and stuff. There's a particular look for every time period that dates it. I feel like, for the most part, right now, we aren't that dated. But are we? I've been wearing jeans and a t-shirt for decades. Literally. So I'm bucking the trends here, but I do wear these black rim glasses, which are a thing now, the hipster thing. I think hipsters might be a thing. That we're going to look back at photos, you know what I mean, in 2050 be like, oh yeah, hipsters, remember that?
This is really interesting because do you think in the 90s they knew?
Oh yeah.
Or really?
Oh yeah. We knew. It was called grunge.
Did
you knew
we?
you were going through grunge. You
But what
absolutely
about
did.
like okay? But I'm talking about like bubble paint and like the neon Technicolor Bayside colors
Overalls.
from.
Well,
yeah.
that was like that was leftover from the 80s.
But it got really
It got
in the-
more
or in the-
colorful though.
Yeah, 90 to 95. It
Like
was
Fresh Prince.
yeah.
Yeah, for me, there was two distinctive eras. I mean, there must have been two distinctive types of clothing or like fashion in the 90s. For me, it was all about the grunge. It was all about the big baggy jeans that were like tattered at the bottom and the flannel, oversized flannel shirts. Like there was nothing better looking in high school than a girl that would walk in with like one of those camisole things that like, it was like a onesie, but then she'd wear the big flannel like boyfriend shirt over it, and you'd be like, wow. And then
She
someone would,
slept with somebody last night.
or she'd be like, oh, she knows how to play the first 4 chords of any Nirvana song. Doesn't matter.
Which every Nirvana song
Does
only
it?
has 4
It
chords.
only has 4 chords, so she knew it all.
She knew it,
But yeah, to me, the 90s about the grunge. They were leftovers. In the 80s. I think we're having kind of a resurgence in the 80s right now, right? You've got
I wish we would have.
you're having like tight, skinny clothes are in again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Skinny jeans. You had to go buy me some skinny jeans.
I did.
And I'm a fat man, so it looks weird.
Although the straight leg jean is coming back in as well. Jeans are a difference. I define every era by jeans.
Well, here's something I want to bring up right now that I'm not a fan of. All right, I'm an overweight person. I wear I'm proud of it. Don't get me wrong, but pants are always a struggle, right? You wear them too low, the cuffs drag on the ground. You got the weird crotch, like no ass, whatever you wear. So I started wearing my jeans higher. Wearing them where my natural waist would be. So I'm talking the waist is over my gut, right? Because your first impression, always being a fat kid, you're like, oh, my waist, the thing below my gut. And it's like,
Right.
no, it's not really where your waist is.
So that's always pissed me off because I remember people used to say like, oh, it's supposed to be where your belly button is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What?
that's your waist.
No.
It is.
That's where your
technically
pants
your
are
waist.
supposed to go.
That's what they used to
Who
go.
the
If
fuck
you remember,
made that up?
well, if you remember back in the 80s and beforehand, any
do.
pant would usually generally come around that area. The low rise
jeans.
The low rise jean didn't come about till like the late 90s.
And I feel like that was pushed forward by my generation or people of my age bracket wearing their jeans below their normal guts. And not fat people, obviously, but I mean, there's some the skinny
gangsters.
Remember the skinny jeans on like the sexy girl, like or the what you're talking about, low rise jeans or whatever.
Yeah.
That's awesome when they got
There was
rid of
a
mom
time-
jeans and stuff.
Boy, I caught the best time for that was Orange. I was living in Orange County from 98 to like 2004, 2005. And you would just see girls with like low rise shorts.
And just the
And high rise shorts. They were like low rise and high rise. The shorts that were like super high and then nothing. And it was just like it was the most amazing.
But
Thing. You don't see that too much up here.
See, being a fat guy, wearing my pants low, I was getting a lot of the plumber's crack, and I was like, no, I don't want. That's
You gotta
that's
give him
the-
right as a man.
Well, it's an embarrassing thing. You don't want to do that. You act like God, I love Home Improvement. But so I moved away from that. I started wearing them higher, and then when I had to go get jeans with you and get the fancy jeans, I came back, and Alexis, who's the pinnacle of style, and Alex Solomia, who pays attention to these things, was telling me I was wearing these jeans too high. I
Well-
need to wear them below my gut. I'm like, I'll get a plumber's crack, and they're like, no, that's what you want now.
Well,
I
no,
was like,
you don't necessarily.
No,
want
you don't
the
ever want
plumber's
the
crack.
crack.
But you were wearing them in such a way that people were able to see parts of your body that they
My
didn't
dick.
necessarily. No,
Not a camel toe.
they were seeing your
My balls.
Your tube?
Yeah,
No,
they were
tubes
seeing,
all
they were
up in
they
there.
were seeing your testicular.
That's. I mean,
area.
I can't help it. That's what skinny jeans do.
See, here's the issue, right? With jeans and guts and these kinds of
Dicks?
issues is if you wear, there's a phenomenon. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
Was this explained on Cosmos?
Called
Are you watching Cosmos?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I love Cosmos.
I have it on
watching
DVR.
it.
I haven't watched it.
It's good.
We can watch it tonight.
It's a phenomenon called the pineapple pootie. And I don't know if you've ever heard of this.
The
Sister did
pineapple
the Stry
pootie.
sound effect.
And this is in the same family. As
I'm sorry.
the sound effect.
The pineapple
pootie.
I can't wait to
okay.
hear this one.
It's the
Thanks for listening,
phenomenon
everybody.
where an older woman or man, usually older and overweight, wears their jeans high enough
Yeah.
where they tuck
The fupa.
the gut and kind of upper crotch
Yeah.
fat down below so that
Kinda
they're
wince it
skinny,
in.
and then on the jeans they have this thing kind
Yeah.
of going on.
The frumpa, isn't that what other people
I
call
call it
this?
the fupa.
The fupa.
Fat upper pussy area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
I like
But guys can have that
pineapple
too.
pootie
Guys can
better.
get that
yeah,
too.
pineapple
But
pootie was a
Why is it
phenomenon.
pineapple though? I don't
Because
get
looks
it's
like a
shaped like it looks like you have a pineapple in your pants.
Ah, yes, that's true.
Yeah. A friend of mine in high school was the first person to ever said that to me, and then I realized that was a saying, at least where I was from.
There was a definitive moment in young Greg's life. Always fat. Always happy being fat. But talking, I remember I was at like the sandwich fair or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not that.
What?
Hold on. There's a town in Illinois called
You were
Sandwich.
at the Sandwich Fair.
There's this. So like Sandwich, Illinois, a town. It sounds even better.
I'm a normal little fat
I'm a
kid
little
out of
fat kid,
Sandwich
I'm going to
Fair.
the Sandwich Fair.
Greg, that's just called the sub shop. Your mom used to make it seem like it was a big thing
It's
for you.
time for the annual trip to the Sandwich Fair.
annual,
It's
like
at Subway.
bi-weekly.
It's at Subway. But I remember talking to some farmer or whatever. Or my dad was. I clearly wasn't. But I remember he had this multiple gut situation going on. I'm like, I will never be that fat. And if I'm ever that fat, I will figure out a way to dress to not look that way. Like I already gave myself the out.
Like what? Like a Batman cowl? You gonna not look that
How
way?
would a cowl help at all? So
not-
you want a cape? You
that's
don't know
not
what
a
the
cowl.
fuck. You're not a real Batman fan.
They
Get
call
out
it
of
the
here.
cowl. His mask and cowl.
No, the cowl is the cowl.
Is over your head and
Is the
shoulders.
mask?
Yeah.
Is this part? It wasn't the whole cape?
It wasn't the whole cape. Wow. Yeah, you got your mind blown.
Learn a new thing every day.
Mind freak.
Cowl and cape?
Cape and cowl is what they usually say. but
Cape
yeah.
and cowl.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So what-
Batman just said,
Something I really like right now is the mom jeans are back. I never
I
thought
don't
I
like
liked
that.
I never thought I liked
That's the
it.
80s right there.
But,
So that's
uh,
straight up the hipster
But now
kind
the
of
hot girls are wearing
high-waisted.
it.
So they're doing this thing where
I
they
used
wear
to wear 'em
the
back then, too.
high-waisted
That shit
jeans,
sucks.
but it's also high-waisted now yoga pants. They're just yoga pants that go up higher, and then they wear the little tiny shirts, and then you just get that line.
Yeah.
They
Very-
look
it's very
stupid
80s.
as shit. You know, like
It's like everything else, though. If you got the body for it, it looks amazing. If you
But
don't,
no one
it
has
just
the
looks
body
weird.
for that because that's not like the body. You know, bodies aside, no one should be wearing jeans that high. This doesn't look right. This isn't the fucking 1920s.
At some point,
You know,
Colin, would you wear a
we're-
jean that like covered all the way up to the armpit?
well.
What'd you say, Nick?
Would you consider wearing a jean that just went straight up to your armpit, so you didn't have to wear shirts anymore?
Absolutely, I'd love that. You have holes for your arms in your jeans.
It's like an overall, but like thicker.
Right.
Like it just keeps going.
So there's YouTube videos of girls that will take sweatpants and do that and bring the sweatpants all the way up to their shoulders, so they don't have arms; they're just legs, and they'll go to supermarkets and like run around. It's really funny.
That's amazing.
Thank
Find
God
me
the
that
internet.
YouTube
Thank
video
God
right
the
now.
internet didn't exist when we were
That's what.
kids.
Now, can I tell you something though? Because
I'd like you to.
I've been having a conflict in my mind, in myself,
you
in my
so much,
in my
Colin.
heart. Every once in a while, someone will tweet at me, message me
lot of people tweet you.
on the IGN articles and the videos. Say Colin's a hipster,
No,
but you know, I was like, I'm not a hipster.
you're not a
I'm
hipster.
not a hipster. Now, a hipster is a very specific thing in my mind, right? It's usually a territory. San Francisco is definitely a hotbed for hipsters. But like, you know, I still wear baggy jeans. I will never not wear baggy jeans. So I don't wear tight jeans. I don't wear, you know, the hip sneakers that the kids are wearing. I don't do all those kinds of things. But then
Tim
I
wears
realized
a lot. Everything he wears is Jordans. He has 15
Unless they're
different
these.
pairs of them, and they're all different, like slightly different colors. It's cool.
And he's got that baseball jacket now.
I do.
He's like a little league
Yeah,
coach
I was
jacket.
saying, okay, little, yeah, like you can go coach
Or
AAA.
Jay Z. I was going for Jay Z.
Well,
Didn't
you-
work.
You got little league.
It looks like you're like a 25-year-old Missouri father taking his kid out.
It works. It's, it's second best.
It's a little creepy.
Yeah.
Can
Sorry,
I finish
Colin,
my
continue.
story now? Is that all right?
Continue,
Nick?
please.
You're being really rude to him tonight.
please.
And I was just realizing that, you know, over
That doesn't
time,
help.
a serious reflection about this issue, that I realized that I think I have hipster tendencies.
What are your hipster tendencies? I want to hear this.
Like, it's not being a hipster is a state of mind, right? It's not only like the way you dress.
Sure.
So I'm not one of these guys that wears huge glasses, but I wear my, you know, my black glasses that some people might think hipsters, but I generally like it's a kind of a hipsterish thing to still listen to like 90s music or proclaim you like rap rock, right? I like really obscure video games and you know, so like there's a tendency I think that I have to acknowledge that while I don't dress like a hipster and I don't think I act like a hipster, that there are certain things about me that will elicit that response from people, I think.
I think the misdiagnosis comes, though, from being in a place maybe without real hipsters. The fact that we're in San Francisco, where the handlebar mustache and your local organic grown coffee, riding your bike, and like, the perfect example is, and I love it, the coffee shop across the street, Ironside. Dynamite coffee, run by great people. But literally every Monday, I'll be in there getting a cup of coffee. But so what'd you do this weekend? I'd be like, I went up and played one of my bands over in Berkeley, and this and I just got back from Burning
My
Man. It's like,
bluegrass-
that's awesome.
my
This is
bluegrass
all
band
great.
played.
But like, this is like, you know, if you had to define a hipster, this is it. You know what I mean? And like the mustaches and the bandanas and whatnot, and that's fine as long as they're happy again, right? Do whatever you want to do. I don't care. But I think the fact that then people extrapolate not having that perfect of a dose of hipster in their life, right? They then go, oh well, you wear black rim glasses and you only talk about JRPGs all the time. Like, you know, you're trying to be counterculture. You're trying to do this.
No, I'm just a fucking nerd.
Yeah.
You see, like you were trying to say, like things about you being dated, right? Like, well, I've had my earrings for 12 years.
Yeah.
Without ever taking these out. Yeah. This is a sign of a different time. And if you were to like take my glasses off and kind of just take a picture of my face, like this would be more 2002, 2003. So maybe that makes me hipster too because I just never took them out. That's more because I have huge holes in my ears and I can't do anything with them now. But there's just little things like that where I was like, I had to be kind of honest with myself. That maybe there's something to be said about this.
I don't think you're hipster at all.
I hope not. I don't want to be hipster.
I think a big problem is hipster has grown too big. That is so many different things now that you can't really say someone is a hipster because not being hipster is hipster in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like it's just there's so many people doing that stuff that now that's no longer counterculture and it's just a bunch of bullshit. It's the same thing that happened to emo, which was before hipster, when everyone's just like, oh, they're an emo person. Or
yeah,
whatever,
but I always felt
Hot Topic.
like I don't think that emo hit the level of popularity that hipsters quite hit. And also I feel like when hipster kind of became a thing, it was already to that level. Like it was never a point where everyone was like, "Oh, that guy's cool. He's a hipster." Right? It just kind of came out of nowhere, and then boom, everyone's hipster, and you're like, "Whatever, they're hipster. It doesn't matter anymore."
It's a derogatory term. Like emo is a derogatory term too, and it's funny because I identified a lot more with emo culture in high school and college than I even though I don't even know what dressing emo was. It was more like
Colin
kind of
so Hot Topic.
It was a post.
This
Well, I
makes
didn't
sense.
really do Hot Topic.
No,
but
you didn't.
But it was a post.
are.
It was a post gothic kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Like late '90s. But I love Jimmy Eat World and
Jimmy Eat World.
obviously
come on.
Brand
I would
New, which
say-
was from Long Island. That was a big emo band, and like I liked that style and that music and that temperament, as it were. But I never really dressed the part of anything. I used to wear t-shirts and jeans. Now I wear a lot of button downs. Nothing's really changed. So.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I think nowadays hipster literally just means whatever is not the one idea of what mainstream is. And that's insane because so many different things.
There's a lot of,
the mustache
there's a lot that goes
things
along
and
with counterculture, but like I feel like hipsters is a specific sect of people that saw pictures of their dads from the 70s and 80s and were like, I want to look like that. I identify with that kind of look and feel. And that's a specific...
But see, I think that's just one specific
that's not
version
like
of
punk. That's not like... Because there is still emo. There is still punk. There are still people out there that kind of identify with
but it's like punk doesn't exist anymore. Like, like...
No, it's 'cause
punk
music doesn't exist anymore. Like
well,
it used to.
there's still people that are making punk. But I guess what I'm saying is... Punk died in like the early 80s, like everything after, what was going on in really the late 70s, early 80s was post-punk and pop punk and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Punk's dead, like just like new wave doesn't live anymore, like it still exists, but it doesn't, and emo is the same way. Like
It's
emo,
too bad too. New wave is the pop.
Oh, new wave is like one of my favorite things in the world. But like, same thing with emo, like because emo is a state of mind, emo is a time and place.
Which one was Genesis?
Genesis is for like progressive rock.
Progressive rock. Define new wave, because maybe I think I'm getting the two.
New wave is like synth heavy.
Like give me a band you would say is new
Flock
wave.
of Seagulls.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
I was just about to
okay.
say Iran.
Tears for Fears.
Okay, yeah, I love new wave then. Like Duran Duran. Do they
Duran
fit in
Duran.
new
Oh
wave?
yeah, absolutely.
Love Duran Duran.
The whole Vice City soundtrack.
Basically everything I love from the 80s that's not like hardcore metal or Guns N' Roses is new wave.
Hair metal.
Love hair metal.
Me too. I wish hair metal would come back.
God, I wish it would.
See, music is so easy to identify periods of, right? Like, I feel like that's the thing. Like, we talk about the 80s music, you know what you're talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
You talk about now dubstep, right? Like, everybody's gonna be like, oh, that shit.
Yeah.
Remember that? Like, that was that. But, like,
Dubstep was
So
always
2011, 2012.
so yesterday.
Dubstep was so dumb.
Dubstep was awesome.
Why
Well,
was
it
it
because
was?
it all
It's
had-
still existing.
Because
it's still happening.
it's the same. Dubstep is cool the first few times you hear it, but it's the same thing. Like it's the same thing you're waiting for.
The drop, yeah.
That
Yeah,
big
like and it's
drop.
just the same.
It's so gratifying, though. It's so gratifying.
Yeah,
You're
but
like,
then- but
wait, it's not this time.
It doesn't even sound that different in every song though. It's just always
There are
the same. It's not like
elements.
rock.
There are elements of dubstep that I really enjoy, and I like that it's made its way through a bunch of different genres now. But there's a lot
Yeah.
of them I don't.
But they put it through the ringer, right? Like just like culture does to everything that's not classic or doesn't have its feet firmly planted in the ground. Like rock will always exist, right?
Uh-huh.
There's kinds of rock. New wave is rock, right? But like prog rock is rock. Metal is rock. Alt rock, grunge.
Right.
These are all like rock's never going to go anywhere. Like obviously there's like hip hop influences in dubstep, but it's not that core rap, hip hop, R&B, soul.
I mean, I don't know nowadays. Like everything has some influence of, if not dubstep, electronic music. Like,
But it's more electronics coming back. I mean, like there's a lot of synth influence in a lot of things that I'm hearing today. There's a lot of synth influence in a lot of hip hop beats by real hip hop artists.
Yeah, by
like,
literally everyone.
And that's awesome. Like, and I feel like a lot of that was frankly influenced by Kavinsky. Like just making synth cool again. And now you're finding it kind of leaking everything. It's not to say that there wasn't always synth rock bands and synth in rock and synth by itself. Of course there was, but it's like acceptable again. It's just everything's what's old is new again. We talked about that with rap rock. Yeah.
I feel like when it comes to music, when it comes to rap music specifically, hip hop in general, like Kanye, whatever Kanye's doing is kind of a telling of where the music, like the whole scene's going to be for the next couple of years, for better or for worse. But like back in the day, in like early 2003, 2004, he did all the soul samples and like chipmunk shit, right? Everyone did that. Then he moved on to the electronic stuff with Stronger and all that shit. Then everyone started doing electronic. Now he's doing the whole like, I'm meshing dubstep with like all this weird alternative shit, and like now it's like not even hip hop anymore. Now it's just like this one weird blend of every music together.
Who produces Kanye's
Kanye.
stuff? Kanye does his own stuff.
Kim, I think Kim does a lot of it.
Kim stepped up.
Kanye's best song in terms of beat is still "Flashing Lights." So I think the best beat.
I'll never forget that. That was the. I was gone for a day. I think I was out absent a day. GTA 4 came out. Oh, yeah, that was the one where that song was on there, and Brennan, when we cut the review to it, he spent like 3 days cutting this review, and it was the intro to the review was like the hottest thing you've ever seen. It was the flashing lights, awesome. And he did like the flashing like little moments from GTA 4, and then we gave that game like an.
But really, going back to the question, Greg, I think a lot of it has to do with just digital culture, which is weird because
I think a lot of the fashion. What's going to date fashion has to do with the digital culture.
Like, it's all going to be more about the Instagram pictures and
interesting
people looking back at these pictures. Because, you're saying, like, you look at the pictures of the 90s and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Those are literal pictures you're looking at. And, like, even the pictures, the coloring of the pictures in the film and all that shit, like, add to that. It's going to be the filters. It's going to be the Instagram filters. It's going to be, like, just... It's even interesting now where you can look back to the 90s or 80s or wherever the hell...
Or wherever the hell life was.
Whatever happened before that. And kind of like, remember what happened. There's photo albums. Nowadays, it's like people don't have photo albums.
Yeah.
Majority of people. And if your Facebook account goes away, your years of your life are going to be gone. Unless you back everything up like I do because I'm crazy.
My wife does too.
But like, for example,
only her stuff
MySpace,
does, so I'm in like one of every 17 pictures.
That'll make the divorce easier.
But with MySpace, like, that's a whole chunk of my life. That when I'll look back every once in a while, just like go on my site and see what's going on, and looking back at those pictures, I'm like, wow, I look like an idiot. I wish I could still look like that.
Eminem, every single one of those pictures, you look like Eminem.
Yeah, it was just.
I like you more with hair. I'm glad you have hair.
I know. I'm glad I do too. But one day it'll be back.
What, you gonna bleach blonde it again? You gonna Marshall Mathers it?
Frost some tips.
I'll frost my tips with you. Let's make a pact right now, guys.
Nope.
Let's frost our tips. Let's see who can go the longest. We'll put money in. We'll see who can go the longest with the frosted tips, and then whoever goes longest gets the money.
All right, I'm out.
I used to bleach my hair in high school all the time.
I bleached it when I dyed it blue, but I mean,
from
never
the
dyed
zoo?
it blue.
From the antlers?
For the antlers or from the antlers?
Why? Why did you dye it blue?
It was my thing. I wanted my hair to be blue.
That was it?
People called him Blue.
You've heard
it.
Yeah,
His nickname.
yeah. We've talked about this before on the show, right?
Nope. Never talked about it on the show.
Yeah, we have. We talked about Catholic school and how it ruined me, right? And I couldn't dress myself. I didn't imagine this.
When did we talk about this? Are you sure it wasn't that day of conversation with Collins that I missed?
I don't know. I mean, I knew the
You got to
story.
stop doing all that coke you're always talking about.
Yeah.
Man, now it's a thing. It's a thing now. I don't mind having an identity, but that's kind of a
Do
bad
me
one
a
to have.
solid, and like every other day for the next week, just Google Nick Scarpino and cocaine, just so it's an autofill. I mean, we won't have any results yet.
Just was an autofill.
That's awesome.
It'll
Like
make
where it
me
says like Nick Scarpino IGN, Nick Scarpino cocaine.
Nick Scarpino School
good.
of Shadowboxing.
That's amazing.
Yeah, when I was in high school, because I wanted to be like Nick Hexum, which is why I also got these earrings. He's the lead singer of 311. He used to shave his head and then dye it, like before Eminem, shave and dye it blonde. So I used to do that too. It used to hurt a lot to dye my hair like that.
Really?
Yeah,
That
I've never.
close to the skull. Yeah.
I wonder it's the roots. It didn't kill. What did you use? Just like
I don't remember.
I was using like Manic Panic stuff, like their whole box, their box kit.
I think my brother used to use like peroxide on his
Oh
hair.
wow, yeah, okay. No, I
yeah,
use real products.
And yeah, I don't know what we used to. And then my mom used to bring me to her salon sometimes to do.
You have a taste guy open for you? Colin
No,
says
I'm okay.
it's a privilege.
It is.
I've never done it. I bought my own bottle.
Well, it's not just on
Well,
you. You can't.
for everyone.
Well,
It's for you, of course, because we drink all your stuff all the time.
I think it's a lot easier to gauge. You know, my wife will say this. It's a lot easier to gauge where everything's in fashion with women. Because guys, what we wear is just so boring in comparison to what women get.
Yeah.
So, you know, if she'll go shopping.
Yeah, I think
and
that's
steals.
more. It's just an age thing, and like, there's the subcultures. Like, if you're into gangsta shit, then there's like going to be trends.
What about the culture of? So I watch a lot of. Oh, that's good. I'm good.
Stop being a baby.
I watch a lot of. I watch a lot of car shows now, and so you've got the kind of muscle head.
Wait, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I do.
wait,
I don't know
what?
why. I don't know why, but there's something about buying
You
an
just
old
missed Fast and
automobile.
Furious.
What's that?
You missed Fast and Furious.
I always miss Fast and Furious. By the way, how did we not?
Yeah,
on
you want
last
to
week's
apologize
episode?
for everybody?
Yeah.
To everybody?
We owe you all apologies because the greatest movie lines ever uttered on film,
Your
Tim and I both
topic.
missed. My topic, which I actually had a note to say, we completely missed the following 2 lines. 1, I live my life a quarter mile at a time, which means that nothing really matters.
Yeah.
Right? The only thing that matters is the next quarter mile. And 2, whether you win by a mile or by an inch, winning's winning. The cops, which was the next line.
And anything that Han said in Tokyo Drift.
Anything where he's like, hey, you got to drift more. It's like life.
Something like
Was that a line?
Yeah.
So sorry, those are the 2 to tack onto that last week's episode.
Here's what I need from you, Tim. I want you to reach over and get that empty glass. Colin, I've done this bourbon a disservice by putting it on ice. I don't appreciate it.
Oh no.
It's too good. It needs to be drank. From now on, Knob Creek must
bourbon
be.
should be drank with ice.
Get this out of here. All right, so we're done with this topic.
Yep.
We all
I
agree
enjoyed
that
it.
Tim is the one that dates us.
I'm the pinnacle
This shirt.
of fashion right now.
No, Tim, you just became. That's the first time I've seen you wear anything even remotely like hipster. That's a hipster
That is
shirt.
not true.
If that shirt were if that shirt were a size tighter,
This is,
No, I think he's saying he wears other hipster stuff.
you never wear the hipster stuff. Never.
What about that stupid shirt that looks like it says Tiger but doesn't say Tiger?
That's gangster.
Tiger.
Most of your ensembles up until this past year have been more hip hop than hipster. This is the first time
But
I've
that's
seen
the
you wear
thing,
hip.
though. White people doing hip hop is hipster. That's how this
white
works.
people doing hip hop is just sad.
I think you just have the wrong idea of what hipster means.
Perhaps you
I
never heard
know
Snow's.
exactly what hipster is. I live in the mecca of hipster activity.
No, you live.
That's not though. Mission
yeah.
is.
Mission.
Yes.
And
Yes.
San Francisco, Tim, is the mecca
Oh.
of all hipster activity. You can't go 5 feet without seeing someone in like
Brooklyn is the-
absurdly tight
Marina,
I don't know.
jeans.
My only
And
point
a
is
shirt
there's-
that's way too
there
small
was
for one that
many
has pigeons
very
on it.
different types of hipster at this point.
I don't think there is. I think there's one type of hipster. There are degrees of it, but then there is one type of hipster. If you go over this way, then you become wannabe gangster, which is what you were for the longest time. Now you got a pigeon on your shirt, and you can wear some wireframe glasses and grow a mustache,
I miss
brew coffee in your
grow a mustache.
garage, and talk about Coldplay.
How much do you maintain this beard?
I gotta maintain it a lot, actually. It gets unruly.
You got like not stragglers, but you have an interesting arc here up on the upper cheek.
Yeah, I don't actually like shave any of this stuff.
Okay,
I'll
okay.
shave this, but what I have to do is trim it every like week. Otherwise, it gets really bushy, and I start to look like
big bushy beard.
See, I don't know how to do any of that maintaining stuff, so I just need to start over once it gets uncontrollable.
You just get an
which
Arelco.
you just did.
You just
That's
gotta
why
get-
I'm baby.
you get an
Right
Arelco,
now.
That's why the pure
like a
one.
face shit, like a
Tim
trimmer,
Gettys.
and then you just trim it in 5 seconds. It's fine.
You need to teach me.
That's what you got to do. I'll teach you.